might go ahead and start. Oh, Lynn, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. And we'll start out with our finance meeting. We don't have any old business, Wayne, but we do have some new business. Do you want me to go through them one at a time, or you want to just read them off your agenda?
Well, if you have anything to add to it, I think everybody's probably looked at the bids on the sidewalk, the pavement crack sealer. You might tell us a little bit about exactly what we're doing, especially on the
Okay.
pavement crack sealer.
Okay. On the crack
Thank
sealer,
you.
can you hear me?
I've got a question about the city park.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to approved low bid of city park. That is an Arkansas Highway Transportation grant. It's a 80-20 grant. The state will give us 80,000 and we'll put in 20,000, whereby we can use some in-kind labor that we can to help towards our 20,000.
How long will that walking trail be, Mayor?
There is a map in there.
I know, but it doesn't. I can't read the print. It's too small.
Well, I don't know the actual feet, but I can tell you that it goes from the existing pavilion bridge over to the the pedestrian bridge over to the KFC pavilion. You can go straight through it, or there is a bypass around it in case people are having, picnics or something, and you've got people that are on are in a wheelchair, they can go around. Then it comes straight across on the ballpark side all the way to the other pavilion. And it also goes up to that one big playground equipment area. And then it actually goes back across. And the price does include a new pedestrian bridge. We had to take down the second old one because it had cracked apart. That does include sidewalks all the way up and make sure that they're in proper grade to go into the new bathrooms.
So we're not going to get the section. We're not going to get the section north of the creek and out by the.
Not for the 100,000. No.
Okay.
Not this time. And this has all been approved by the highway department. They know the bid. They've been through the whole process. And, we had to do quite a bit of preliminary to get prepared as far as, the having permits, Corps of Engineers. We've had to have a lot of extra stuff because also since it was in floodplain, so we've had to have a lot of extra stuff. But this all has been approved by the highway department. And then hopefully we can go into a phase 2 after we get this completed. We'll get another grant. Because usually the Arkansas Highway Department for things like this, the walking pass, running pass, bicycle pass, they do have quite a bit of money for those projects. So the low bid on the city park was $97,000, and that was with Tri-State. And if we did want to do the side that you're talking about, we just went ahead and just to see what the additional cost would be. If we did want to do that extra there, the alternate add-on, if you see what that is, I just wanted to know what it would cost to do that section. It would be an additional $22,075, but that would not be a match.
But that would make it a complete circle.
Yes, it would.
That would be much nicer.
So, I mean, if you want me to take a look at the budget and see if there's possibility of us being able to come up with the extra 22, which, I mean, it is possible if our sales tax keeps going like it's going, then we can go ahead and add that too. I will tell you on that side, I told you at the last meeting or a couple meetings ago that we had $8,500 donated for new equipment, for a new playground equipment for 2 to 5 year olds. That would be the side that would be on, and we are still looking at some options as far as those playground equipment. We've got $10,000 budgeted, and the lady did give us $8,500, and unfortunately, everything is so expensive that we're kind of having trouble finding something that we think is nice within our budget, but we're taking a look at that to see what we can do.
Well, you know, this guy's like $6,000 cheaper than the next one for that alternate bid.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It just makes sense to do it while you're doing it to me,
Right.
but I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you would like for me to take a look at the budget, I'd be glad to do that while we're doing it, because it'd be a good time to get it done. It would be a complete circle. It would be a very nice walking area. And like I say, this all started because I had lots of people contact me in wheelchairs and people that had a hard time getting around, and they were having a hard time going in the park because of roots. And we have added dirt. I did have a tree specialist come out, and they told me I could not add any more than 3 to 4 inches of dirt per year, or it would kill all the trees. And unfortunately, with that flooding like it does, we'll put the 4 inches, and 4 inches will go down the creek. So it's kind of like we're fighting a battle. So,
I got a
but
question.
anyway,
I
yes,
got a
ma'am.
question. Would this 8,000 go toward this 22,000 something?
No, ma'am. It was that lady gave the 8,500 specifically for playground equipment.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, she gave it for playground equipment.
okay.
So if
So,
this
but
is
I think
approved,
I think the additional 22,000 is very feasible.
Okay.
Is
so if
any of
this
this
is
going to be
approved, when will they
lighted?
start this?
I'm sorry, David.
So if this is approved, when will they start this?
As soon as we can have a pre-construction bid and get it started, and there will be a temperature. We'll have to make sure the temperature to a certain amount, because just to make sure everything hardens and everything, because this is asphalt. This will be an asphalt path.
But this is something you're trying to do this year?
Oh, yes, it'll be started as soon as possible. In fact, as soon as you approve it at the next Monday's meeting, then we actually will go ahead and have a pre-construction meeting to kind of finalize everything, and we'll get a date at that time. We'll get a estimated date of start and an estimated date of finish.
Okay.
So do you want to go ahead and put on the agenda for the extra 22,000? We'll have to amend the budget to do that, but I mean, we've got extra money. I think we could well, do that, because we
I
did
agree
have
with
that.
Larry. I think it makes sense to go on and make it a full circle. And while you're doing the work, why wouldn't you just do it all?
Well, then why don't we put on here approved low bid, including add-on for the city park whenever we put it on the agenda.
Okay.
Brenda,
All right.
is any of this going to be lighted?
Ma'am?
Is any of it going to be lighted?
Yes, we are going to add some additional lighting. Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay. Next we'll go to the crack sealer. The crack sealer, Michael can kind of tell you a little bit more about that, but on the crack sealer, this is a piece of equipment that will be used to seal any cracks in our streets. If we mill and fill them, we're okay with not doing the crack filling, but if there are some processes that we can still maintain the street, we basically need to do fill in the cracks, any cracking, before we do any kind of an overlay to protect the street. Because if you don't fill up those cracks, anytime you get water, or especially when it freezes, that just opens up your crack even more. Michael, did you have anything to add to that?
You muted, Mike.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
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 Okay. The reason we decided to put the crack seal in there, a lot of these streets that we had planned on milling, we could actually use that crack sealer and then do that cape seal. So it's gonna save us a whole lot of money in the end by doing the crack sealing.
Well, and this sealer is something that we can maintain for the future. I mean, it's not just for this project we're fixing to get started on. It will be something that they can. Now, they used to have an old crack sealer that's extremely obsolete and was to the point of being dangerous. So they have had one in the past, but we feel like it's very vital right now, because we can do a lot of this preliminary work that will save us money having to contract that out. Is that correct, Michael?
That is correct.
Michael, can you seal concrete streets with that sealer?
I believe so. We did ask that question. We got all kind of different attachments It'll be a little bit different process, but you can use it with that machine.
Okay.
Will this company come down and show us how to use this thing and how to utilize it to its full
Yes,
extent and
matter of
all that?
fact, the place that we getting it from is in North Little Rock that ordered it for us. But when it comes, they will send somebody to show us what to do.
Got it.
Okay, so, Mr. Chairman, we'd like to put that one on the agenda too. And then the last one that we've got, is the bid for the dump truck. This is a budgeted item. This is from the state bid, but we just wanted you to see exactly what it was costing, and we would like for you to approve the purchase of the dump truck. And like I say, it is budgeted. This is from state bid, but I still want you to
Dump
see
truck's
it.
not from the state bid. The dump truck we bid out. The dump truck we bid out. The crack sealer's from the state bid.
I'm sorry, I'm vice versa. Excuse me. Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. Correct. Excuse me. Okay, crack sealer is state bid. The dump truck was bid out, and this was the low bid. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. I got them confused. Got them backwards.
Is there a dump truck available? Is there a dump truck available on the state bid?
No, it is not.
There's no dealers that do that?
Not this particular one. Is that correct, Michael?
Yes. Can you hear me?
But this was the low bid, and it
Yeah.
is budgeted.
And the reason we was glad to get this one, the last dump truck that y'all approved, the parts gonna be interchangeable, so we can stock parts, and it'll fit the last dump truck and the new dump truck.
What year model is the last one, Mike?
I think the last one is a 2019, if not mistaken. And on this one, instead of being a 2021, it's gonna be a 2022, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the street sweeper is paid for. Want to
We
throw
got
that out
it paid.
there.
Yeah, Michael, it does say a 2022 dump truck, so it is 2022. Okay,
All right, anything else?
those are the only three I've got.
Okay.
Hey, Michael, I got one more question.
Okay.
What kind of warranty did we get on the dump truck?
Larry, I could send you them, but I don't have specifics. I can get that and send it to you, but I just can't tell you right offhand.
Okay. Well, your most expensive parts are the drivetrain, and of course, a lot of other stuff is wearable items. But
Right.
yeah, they need to come up with something pretty good on the drivetrain, the engine, transmission, and rear ends.
I'll check on that, Larry, and see what we got, and then I can actually check and see if we can get an extended warranty. But I'll check on that for you.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else
Make a
for finance?
motion to move, let's make a motion, to move A, B, and C over to the agenda.
Have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Anything else for finance?
That's all I have at this time.
All right, do I hear a motion to adjourn the finance?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Larry, it's yours.
Okay, I'll call the agenda meeting to order. Mayor, all I see is the old business is the planning commission and reorganizing the planning commission on A and B. That's pretty clear cut. And then ordinance regulating electric service entrances.
Yes, Chris Brewster is requesting to have that changed. Chris, could you tell us about that, please?
So it's an amendment to an existing ordinance that's already in place. It does two things. One, it clarifies in the middle of section 3 about an outside means of disconnect. And then the addition is adding that will require smoke detectors be installed when the services are upgraded. We sent letters out to get input from all of our local electricians and the guys that we normally deal with. They said the cost to the consumer, to the customer, our citizens, is going to be pretty negligible, depending on obviously how big the house is. But so we're not talking about a huge expense, but the life safety properties are unmeasurable. So we just want to go ahead and get this in there so that when they update the services on these old houses, we'll make sure that they have working smoke detectors. The electrician will make sure of that.
So that's not, well, yeah, I guess it is a new ordinance amending the old one. Is that what we're doing, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I found that one time. Okay, here it is. All right.
And that's really
All
all
right.
I,
We're gonna go back up to new business. Do I hear a motion and second from the agenda committee to put the low bid on in next week's city council meeting for the city park walking trail? Do I hear
I make
a
a
motion and
motion.
a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Okay, that'll be on there. Do I hear a motion second to approve the bid for the pavement crack sealer? That is a state bid. Do I hear a motion second to put that on the agenda?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Item C, approve the low bid on the dump truck. Do I hear a motion second to put that on the agenda?
I make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's on there. Under old business, under agenda, do I hear a motion second to put the ordinance on the agenda for the abolishing of the planning commission by title only?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that'll be on there. Now do I hear a motion and a second to put the ordinance on the agenda for next week for establishing the new planning commission on its second reading by title only?
I make a
I make a
motion.
motion.
Well, somebody
Second.
want to second that?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and last, under new business, item A, ordinance regulating electric service entrances. Do I hear a motion second to put that on the city council agenda for next Monday night?
I make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. All right, Mayor.
okay, are there any citizens wishing to appear? Is there anybody on the list? I don't think there's anybody on there, Larry.
Okay, motion second to adjourn the agenda meeting.
Motion.
Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're adjourned, Mayor.
Okay, next, I just included this demolition list that the code office is working on. If there's any additions that you want to add or anything, it's like Brewster said at the beginning, some of these folks are cleaning up their own. Brewster, could you kind of give us a report on that? What you're running into, or are you still there?
Yeah. So the first step is completed. All the certified notifications have gone out to each one of those. We got some phone calls and some feedbacks from 5 of the property owners. 3 of them want the opportunity to tear it down on their own. 2 of them have recently purchased the property and weren't aware. They bought it sight unseen. And so they want to meet and either see about tearing it down on their own. One lady wants to rehab the property. So if those 5 are resolved on their own, then we'll go out there and we'll get 5 more on the list and start the process. But first steps is done. That's the certified notice that gives them 30 days in accordance with statute to respond. And then no response, next month this month we will start the title search moving towards bringing a final list for condemnation.
So Brewster, if we don't see a movement on these five, and you may have just said it, but what is the time limit? Legally, what can we do?
So what I've told of the 5 people that I talked to was that they had to respond to me. They had to show us some kind of good faith effort within 30 days, or we would continue on with the process. Because
Okay.
as you can imagine, we've been told numerous times about, I'm going to take care of it, and then it just continues to sit. So we had a couple in court last Monday that were going to come in, and they've not shown up yet either. So, right. So it's a 30-day process. Then they have 30 days to either respond or not. And at the end of that, we'll start the title search work. And then once that's all completed, we'll come back to the council with the finalized condemnation, and then we'll be ready to go to bid. Because it's so large, we'll have to bid this like we've not historically done since I've been here. But this one's going to be pretty large, so.
Well, and just to kind of be sure, Chris, and we will have to have environmental studies on each one of them. Is that correct?
On the majority of them, where they're more than one in a block or they're next door to each other, then DEQ requires a survey done. We're already in contact. Those people are waiting for us just to give them the list to go get the samples and get them done. We tried with the list that we had received and the complaints we had, and some of those we've been dealing with since I've been here, so that's 5 years. They've probably been dealing with them longer than that. So, and we tried to scatter that list out across the city so that we touch every ward in the city so that everybody sees something happening in their neighborhood.
That's a good thing.
So the process is still the same. We put a lien on it for the cost of the demolition.
Yes,
Is that true?
yes, sir.
And then, have we ever wound up with any of this property over that?
With any of the property, no, sir.
I
The
didn't think.
state law prevents the city from taking the property. We can only go after, well, basically you can only go after the property, but you can't take it.
So have we ever received any money back from these liens?
To my knowledge, off the top of my head, I can think of maybe 3 since I've been here. The majority of them are just sitting out there as liens. You know, as Wayne is well aware, back in his planning commission days, the lots are too small. They're not of any value to anybody. So they just kind of sit there because
A lot of them are
lien is
50-foot
more,
lots, aren't they?
Just
right.
about all of them are 50-foot lots.
Yeah.
on
That's what I
Mill
thought.
Street.
Yeah, I remember all that.
So the lot's too small to do anything with, and then if they owe the city $3,000 or $4,000, well, that's more than the lot's worth. Unless you're, a neighbor that just wants to buy it to make my yard bigger.
The only thing
Get
that
them tore
changes
down and
is
cleaned up is well worth the money to me.
Right.
Oh, it is. It's just a shame we can't recoup some of that though.
Right.
Okay, that's all I got, Mayor.
Wayne, were you saying something?
I was saying the only thing that changes that is that new project going in over on Ernest Street. They wiped out some old houses but that's about the only way you get anybody to build on anything like that.
Right.
Well, it looks like you'd have to tear down 2 or 3 to right together.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing since since we got that extra money, we decided we avoided those situations to get more houses because it was cheaper per house. Now that we got a little bit extra money, we're able to go and do like Floyd Street. We're doing 3 in one block. So that'll make a huge difference over there. There's a couple other places where we'd been avoiding. There's one on Oak Street right off of West Page. We've avoided that thing because we already got an estimate of $25,000. Well, in previous years, that had been half our budget just to do one property. So because of asbestos.
Wow.
So we can go after it now.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Okay, next, I was just gonna have Cecilia give us an update on Perla since we did go to court one time and kind of let her tell you kind of what's going on with that.
All right. Well, an order has been entered in Perla's bankruptcy case that outlines their responsibilities to Malvern Waterworks over the next however long they're in bankruptcy. So first, the court said that the February water and sewer bill from Malvern should be paid by March 10th, which is the normal due date, so that if the February invoice is not paid by March 10th, we assess a late fee, and we're able to assess late fees from now on. We have been doing that, but the court approved that. Additionally, the court said if they miss their March 10th payment date, they have until the last day of the month to pay it. If they do not make their payment by March 31st, then automatically the stay of the bankruptcy court saying we can't go after them is automatically relaxed, and we don't have to go back to court to make that happen. So when that happens, automatically relaxed means we can move forward in state court. Additionally, the court said that, let's see here, and this payment scheme must continue for their entire bankruptcy. Must pay by the 10th. If they don't, we get the late fee. If they don't pay by the last day of each month, then they're automatically, we're automatically relaxed and can go forward. They have to file their plan to pay back the money that they owe us, and that date is March the 11th. They have to have that turned in by no later than June 30th. They must consummate a sale of their water department assets. Before June 2021, they shall take reasonable steps to keep Malvern Water and Bills current, which includes providing for an increase in Perla water fees for its end users, and must negotiate with Acme Brick to increase their bill as well. The testimony was such that they've never increased anybody's bill ever since Mr. Adams took office or has been involved in city government for some 27 to 30 years. So the court also ordered that Perla Water make extra efforts to collect their past due accounts. And the court ordered that they disconnect water to non-paying customers. The court went on to require that Perla Water get an audit and an independent review by a certified public accountant. And they went on to say that they must make every effort to fix and repair their water lines that have been breached and are wasting water. Additionally, the court requires that they form a committee to examine their sources of revenue and make sure that the order is complied with and that the city of Malvern is paid in full on a monthly basis. So the request we made to dismiss them from bankruptcy was denied, but the court essentially told them to get it together. The court believes that the policies and procedures for municipal governments are not being followed because Perla Water is, much like us, owned by the city of Perla. And as you all well know, we got to keep our money separate and do the things the way that we're supposed to. So essentially, the bankruptcy court told them to get it together. And if they didn't pay us, then we could move forward. And they must make the sale to Central States by June, I believe it was June 31st or 30th. But the contract that they've got moving forward, don't know if that's going to come to fruition or not. But in the end, if it doesn't and they breach or do not abide by the order of the court, then we'll be moving forward immediately to get our judgment here in state court and foreclose upon it. So that's the plan right now. They have to have an order or a scheduling order, if you will, turned in by March 11th, telling how they're going to pay us back. They passed a resolution in their last city council meeting giving some type of formula that they were going to use to pay us back. It's not real clear. We couldn't understand it. So we've asked them to give us a more definite statement of how they're going to pay us back. But they've also got a lot of other bills to pay. They have some environmental quality issues that they've got to take care of, and some other tax issues that they need to take care of. So they've got to keep it all above board and get us paid, most importantly. So that's where we're at right now.
Did I hear you say they're going to get a rate increase?
Yes, the court ordered it.
Was it, would you know how much?
I believe, and let me look right quick.
$15 per household or something like that?
Something like that. Let me pull that up. See here if I've got it handy. I believe it was approximately $15 per house, and then they were ordered to discuss with Acme Brick an increase for them. Their resolution that they've passed says that, let's see, they will raise their water rates by $15 per month on all 786 water customers. This will generate an extra $11,790 a month in revenue that will help them be able to pay $2,700 on average in sales tax, $1,000 per month in arrears over a course of 2.5 years. And the water rate would provide them an extra $5,500 per month to pay $2,000 in arrears for the delinquent water bill to Malvern Waterworks over a 7-year period. So we're not happy with that, and that's not what we want. So we've objected to their preliminary proposal, but they haven't officially turned that in as their proposal. But our attorney informed them, no, I don't even understand what all that means. I need to see it broken down and done in a formal way. So, but they also went on, just for your information, to state that their customers are put on notice that if their water bill is not paid by the 10th of the month, they will issue a shut-off notice and services will be shut off, and a $50 restoration fee will be added. And they plan on hiring a collection agency to collect on the past due bills. And if the agency deems it necessary, they will give permission to file lawsuits and pursue legal actions necessary to secure and settle their debts. Mr. Adams testified that they have not shut anyone off and they have not collected past dues. So the judge ordered they do that.
If I was a Perla water customer, I'd say, you don't even pay your bill. You're gonna shut my water off?
Yeah. Well, he stated that he had a lot of elderly and handicapped individuals who just couldn't afford to pay, and the judge very much told him that they have to pay, and if they're not paying, it should be shut off.
Whew.
All right, Cecilia, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Cecilia.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else? If not, do I have a motion?
Question.
Oh, yes.
Motion.
Yeah.
I was curious, is the city cleaning up College Street?
Yes.
Because somebody's been cleaning that up.
Yes, we've been cleaning up with our community service.
And who
What
put
do
up
we
the
have?
sign?
Huh?
Someone put up like a, I don't know, it looks like maybe an art student or somebody made a sign or something and put it on that street.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that.
Something about, it says something like, keep our future safe, don't throw out trash, or I don't know, it says something like that.
I hadn't seen that. Maybe
You know,
I didn't know about it. I'll go look at it. But yes, we've been picking it up with community service. And now, if y'all saw, you may have noticed that the Arkansas Department of Corrections, we finally gotten all of our parks in pretty good place, in a pretty good, place to where we're kind of gotten all the limbs and trees and everything taken care of. So you probably will see ADC on some of our locations like that are not right in the middle of town, doing some additional cleanup. We're going to start as soon as it dries up a little bit over on Bryant Street. We've got some ditches that are kind of grown up, and they're going to start over there. But they have been doing more individually neighborhood cleanup also. ADC has.
It's much appreciated on College Street. That just turns into a mess within like 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, it's just terrible. It's just terrible. I know it is. I go out there quite a bit and look. But anyway, yes, I've asked Stacy to make that a priority because it does look bad through there. Any place that any place that Malvern that's got like a wooded area, it seems like people just throw out thinking nobody's around, I guess. All right, anything else, anybody? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All right, we are adjourned. We'll see y'all Monday night.
Okay,
Thank
bye,
you.
y'all.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.